a wild and exciting ride on the road to TransWorld. This is TransWorld Live.
What's up, Rich? How are you?
Good. Tired.
Oh my,
man. Tired.
guys! Welcome to TransWorld Thursday, which is now becoming an awesome thing. Thank you guys for being here, Grant. We got to give you the credit. You're a first in, but hello, Nadine. Hello, Sean. Hello, Festive Farmstead, Tara, Bradley, Brick Thunder, Alec, Sean. Guys, what's up? Holy cow. Rich, I know you guys are feeling it right at TransWorld HQ, but we are 6 days away from our networking night out from next Wednesday. Can you believe this?
No, I can't. Crazy. I just got done. I finished off our pallets about an hour ago, and they're getting picked up in the morning. So it only takes them about 4.5 hours to drive them there. So no big deal.
Sure.
Our stuff gets picked up tomorrow.
That's crazy. Now it's all becoming real. You know, we were just talking Tuesday about that, and we have so much content. We had to start doing this on Thursdays. Now, this is a cool hybrid show tonight because it is technically our last studio show before we get to St. Louis next week. But we've got 3 brand new to TransWorld vendors and 1 awesome veteran. So we are excited to explore all this fun stuff. But before we get into that, let's do some quick updates. Obviously, you guys are all coming. We can't wait to see you in just 6 days in St. Louis. If you haven't looked at the weather's not looking too bad. We're seeing high 40s, low 50s even during the days. And at nights in the 30s. So dress a little bit, like with a hoodie or something like that. Super excited that there's no precipitation in the guideline there. And again, like we talked about, everything kicks off next Wednesday, the 26th, for our networking night out. Make sure that you bookmark haashow.com for any late breaking news and for all of the events that are happening at any moment throughout our TransWorld 2025. Rich, we've talked about this before, and I'm so honored to have you here because we have complimented time after time, and the comments just get so loving because this is the best show floor we have ever had, thanks to you and your artistry. And rumor has it is the map is ready to be looked at.
Yeah, it's completely sold out. There's no booths in Christmas or Halloween.
Yes.
Really. I mean, every year we get pretty close, and I try to find places to add booths, but this year was really challenging. We actually pulled off a lot of booths off the floor. We usually have a massive VIP booth, which we relocated it to a pretty cool area. It's a room that we've talked about before that's above the show that overlooks the show, but we didn't really have a choice. There was no space for it. So we moved that, and we've made some changes to some of our booths. We took a little less presence with what we normally do on the floor, and it's weird. I've had a couple cancellations over the last couple of days, and within 5 minutes after they get canceled, they get sold. So I actually had 2 more today, and people that just couldn't make it, and somebody filled those spots immediately. So we have had a wait list, but some people are called in just at the correct time to happen to get a booth. But this year is pretty amazing. Make sure when you guys are on the floor this year, you walk all of it. I mean, even all the way back the far back ends of the interactive area, there's a lot of really good 10 by 10 booths back there. People that book late, unfortunately, they're a little further back in the show, but there's so many good companies back there that it's definitely worth a look. And a couple, or one of them's on tonight, so it'll be kind of cool to talk with some of these vendors. Like Chris had said earlier, it's kind of fun because these are new vendors that come on the floor. We just started this year. We're trying to spotlight these guys so that people can learn a little bit about them before they come to the show, because the show is so crowded that it's hard to, even pay attention to every booth you walk by. So hopefully some of these guys will pique your interest and you'll spend some time going back to find their booths and meet them. And then we have one of our vendors on here tonight that's an actual veteran of the show that has some pretty cool stuff that they're going to be doing in their booth that we'll have on from the Christmas side, and that'll be fun to get into.
So exciting, so exciting. And we love, selfishly, because we knew you had to make some hard decisions, especially when you break out that news right here, exclusive to TransWorld Live, that the show floor is sold out. It's crazy. And we've kind of joked and hinted that that TransWorld Live booth would end up in the hallway. We're very honored. And I know Tara asked, what's our booth number? We're very honored to be in that back corner of 3028. So you get to come see us, but hang out with a lot of people, because as Rich said, there's people on every square inch of this floor. So don't avoid one section. You're going to find hidden gems everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. The show's changed a lot. And what I will tell you, this is the first time we're probably going to talk about this, but more next year. But we have already put in to rent an additional hall for next year. The new 4X hall that they created, which would make this floor plan a T, is now going to be available to us next year. And we're pretty sure we're going to be able to get it. So we do have full plans to expand into there as well and probably shake things up a little bit. So look for a lot of new vendors next year.
Well, so exciting for what you've done this year, and can't wait for next year. I just want to let you know you got some nice kudos from the boss there in the chat, who said she was so proud of you. So
that's my real boss. Yeah.
We love it. Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. Just a second, what Rich said, like really make a plan to visit, because Rich has sought out some of the best and most creative new talent. In fact, you have over 90 brand new exhibitors amongst all three of these shows. So there's a ton to explore and discover.
Yeah. There's a lot of new people and a lot of new stuff, like even that we're doing in the Christmas hall that we talked about before. There's going to be live entertainment in that hall. There's going to be live stage performances being done. A couple of our vendors, and one of them that's going to be on tonight, Light It Up Productions, is going to be doing some live entertainment in their booth throughout the days of the show. So it's going to be a lot different than what you've seen in the past. There will be schedules for that of what's going on. So make sure you guys, when you get a chance to set aside some time to get in there and watch some of these shows and what they're capable of doing with some of the products that they sell.
Amen. Amen. And we do appreciate all of the comments in the chat. Spirit Hollow Haunter. Absolutely. Yes, the show has unbelievably progressed, especially in the last 5 years. And a lot of that credit is Rich. I mean, Rich has really worked hard to make sure that our industry is getting some of those breaking vendors that are going to change the game.
Yeah, I'd love to take credit for all of it, but I mean, it is a team effort. There's a lot of, I got to be honest, a lot of vendors even, tell people about our show. They refer them to us, and I get a lot of calls. I mean, to be honest, they're some of our best advertisements. When they're doing other shows, they tell people about our show. When they have customers that are selling products that they potentially buy from, they let them know about our show. So that helps a lot. And the name is, our name has actually become pretty strong, and people respect the shows that we build. So it's become a lot easier to sell. It's actually easier than it was when I came years ago. So it's nice. And we're at a point now where a lot of people are trying to figure out ways how they can definitely book us in their shows for the year. So that's a nice place to be.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Rich, I cannot wait to step onto that floor again. Like we've joked about, it's a true city that gets erected on a Tuesday, and we just have that tear in our eye on Sunday. So we cannot wait to experience everything that is TransWorld 2025 in just 6 days.
Yes.
My gosh. We do have some other breaking news real quick before we go into our amazing guests. For our tribute store this year, super excited on behalf of Mark and Creative Visions. There's usually an amazing facade, and we have a preview of what it's going to look like this year. Here's the awesome news is that not only are you going to be able to experience it, but you can actually take it home with you if you like. It is a one-of-a-kind piece made by Creative Visions. The list price on this entire facade is going to be just a shade under $7,000, so $69.95. But the show price, you just got to take it out of there. You got to cart it away, $49.50. The reason we want you to mention this now is we want you to see it, and I know Robert's working on that picture right now, but we want to make sure that you save room in your trailers and in your trucks to make sure you can take this thing home, because it is a one-of-a-kind, beautiful piece. You remember last year's creation, Rich? I mean, it was just breathtaking.
I do. And to be honest, that price kind of caught me off guard. Like, it's usually they're usually around 10,000 is what they're selling for the tribute stores. So it's nice that, Mark, we did talk about it. We wanted to try to find a way to build it where, it was easy to assemble for someone and take apart, to take away, and to make it cost effective for them. And he must have outdid himself. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. And I'm sure there's going to be several people trying to buy that.
Oh, 100%. Now, real quick notes on this. It is fiberglass, and it measures about 12 feet by 12 feet, as well as a wood frame. There's 6 skull stanchions and chains. So really, really nice package here that you can take home immediately and spruce up whatever space you're using it for.
That sounds amazing. Sounds really cool.
Love this. And you know what? It's not Robert's fault. Actually, the pictures only came to me. So give me a second here. I'm forwarding those over to him. Not his fault. I thought he was copied on that email. So we're good with that. We'll come back. Just remember this, guys, and he'll load those for later in the show. Rich, are you ready to dive into one of our brand new vendors for this year?
I am. Yeah, I'm always excited for these new guys. It's actually pretty cool to release their products to the industry before the show.
If we could pause for 1 second, it brings up a good point. We had Alan on last week, and we were going through 5 different brand new vendors as well. And that was the comments that came up. Like, we love this because the show floor is so big. It's very easy to miss stuff. And now we get that opportunity to highlight some of those new products that you might have not gotten a chance to see because somebody like Alan Hops or another haunt owner is in sessions or teaching or, guarding their own booth.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, we haven't done it before. We're always looking to innovate on this show and try to come up with new ideas to make it entertaining and exciting. And, for whatever reason this year, we decided that, we've always had some new exhibitors on, but we never did exclusive shows geared towards, new exhibitors. So this is actually really cool, and exciting to release these products.
Very, very much so. All right. Well, here's one of those that we're super excited to discover with you and to dive in. TransWorld Live help Rich and I in welcoming for the very first time to the show, Alex Hylands-White from Cogs Clockwork Dog. What's going on, sir?
Hello. Yes, I'm joining you live from the UK, London.
That's awesome. What time is it right now in London? Just curious.
It is 1:15 in the morning.
Wow.
See, you're hanging out with us. It's party time. This is great.
That's pure dedication.
Holy cow. Well, we're excited to have you not only on the show, but to be a part of TransWorld 2025. Can we start at the very beginning? And let's assume that nobody does not know any of the details about you guys. Tell us what you guys are all about.
Yeah, no worries. So, my name's Alex. I'm one of the co-founders of Clockwork Dog, and we build a product called Cogs, which is the show control system built specifically for interactive attractions like haunts and escape rooms and immersive theatre and a lot of other stuff which is interactive. So, Cogs has been on the market for quite a few years, and it is a system that you can plug in your outputs, like your sound, like your lighting. It has a DMX programmer built in. But also, very importantly, you can put a lot of inputs in as well. So you can put all your sensors in, you can put all your like inputs, and very crucially, you can program the logic that goes with that. So especially for escape rooms, people love it because they're able to build lots of puzzles within Cogs. So it's a piece of software, but it's also hardware. And yeah, so we build the software, but we also build our own line of hardware, which allows you to plug in switches, all kinds of sensors, like, you know, locks, motors, servos, RFID stuff, loads of things. But yes, but I'm actually not here to talk about the full product of Cogs. I'm here to talk about this Actor Assist, which is a thing we're debuting this year, which is a product built on Cogs.
Beautiful, beautiful. Tell us definitely more. We know that you have a background as a filmmaker, and we know that you're all about making memorable experiences. I know that all of us, and I mean, you're getting a ringing endorsement right now from the Hops family, from Alan Hops, who says he knows Alex, good people.
Yes, I met Alan like a few years ago in Dallas. I loved his horn. It's amazing.
We love him too. But so tell us all about Actor Assist. How can this help haunted attractions?
So yes, this is a little system we built on top of Cogs. And basically what this allows you to do is for your scare actors to communicate with the operators completely silently. So without the use of walkie-talkies. And so what you have is a little button box like you see on the screen, which has a button on it with two lights in it, a green and a red light. And that goes near where your scare actor sits, you know, in the hidey hole or whatever. And then if they need attention, so there's two levels they can give, a minor and a major alert. So they can push and hold, like for a minor alert, or double tap for a major, but you can choose which one you want. And then on the screen in Cogs, you can see exactly where the problem is, and you can then deal with it. So you can then have your like manager essentially go, right, I need someone to go to zone 2 and this particular place to help out this person. And that means that, yeah, you can do away with every actor having a walkie-talkie, and you can reduce down the walkie-talkies that you have. And so like, it just means that it's a lot nicer for your audience to go through. They're not hearing chatter on the radio,
right?
You know, like they're not, you know, there's bulky stuff. They're really, really subtle things that you can put somewhere. And yeah, so the good thing is obviously, yeah, you can see at a glance, like if something's going on, and just immediately deal with it. It's a system that we've been installing in immersive like attractions for a long time, and including haunts. And basically what we thought we'd do this year is productize it for the haunt market. So we make it really easy for people to build this themselves. So all they got to do is fill in a form, basically like an online thing. They say, okay, how many haunts? So you can actually see here, how many mazes? There are 4 mazes on the screen there. And then, you know, what zones, how many zones do you have? And then like, what do you want to call the actual like button locations? And then it spits out a Cogs file, which was pre-programmed. So you don't have to do any of the programming for this stuff. And then you install the buttons, which we sell as a kit. And you can buy your own if you want. I mean, but we sell our own because it's just like, it's a bit easier in that way. And then you plug it all in and off you go. And the great thing is not only have you got this system to talk to your actors and sort all that stuff out, but you also now have a full show control system that you can plug in your lighting, your sound, and animatronics and everything else.
That's brilliant. And
Yeah.
and I know that you are going through the description right now, as you are. The chat is blowing up with love about so many good uses for this. Holy cow, Alex, this is really nice.
Yeah, what I like about it, I mean, I don't own a haunt, but it's kind of interesting. All the haunts generally have security cameras running in a lot of the rooms anyway. I mean, this would offer the ability for, you know, they usually have somebody on staff that's watching these cameras at all times. You know, if somebody's, you know, sounding off one of these alarms, I mean, they can obviously put eyes on this at the time and be able to get somebody there if they need to and watch what's going on. That's actually really cool.
That is.
Yeah, exactly. The idea is that, yeah, you'd have this on your computer next to your cameras, and then you'd be sitting there with your walkie-talkies to talk to your, like, you know, zone managers. And obviously most people are probably like, I need the bathroom, or my costume's come off, or like, you know, whatever. I've been hit in the face. So yeah, and they just want to like, they can just then alert them. Oh, another really cool thing I forgot to mention is that when you push the button to alert the central control, the central controller can accept it, and then their button actually goes green, so they know that the help is on the way, basically. And then they can basically like go, okay, yeah, I know help is on the way, and then that basically accepts it, and then you can move on.
Alex, we have some questions that are coming in. I think if you don't mind, before we start asking those, Robert actually has a cool video, like a trailer here that we'd love to play if that's all right with you.
Very cool.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because this may.
Hello, I'm James, and today we're going to be looking at a product we built using the Cogs platform called Actor Assist, a communication system primarily designed for haunts, but it can also be used in all types of attractions. Now, actors in haunt experiences often need to communicate with the stage management team.
Where are you guys?
Perhaps they need a bathroom break, a bottle of water, or their costume has problems. An audience member might need some attention, a prop might have broken, or perhaps there's an emergency situation. Now, usually walkie-talkies fill this gap, but they do have a number of pain points. They need to be mass charged, they need expensive earpieces, they need cleaning, they create noise and distractions for the audience, every problem can be shared with the whole cast or zone, and actors can even start to chat to each other randomly. Our system reduces the amount of walkie-talkies you need, or does away with them entirely. Actor Assist allows actors within the experience to silently and subtly alert your operator that they need attention. Using a special Cogs dashboard, the operator will know exactly which actor needs attention and the severity of the alert instantly. Then they can let the actors know that their request has been received, all without one word being spoken between them. Plus, once it's installed, you now also have a show control system that you can add to in order to manage your interactive props, lighting, sound, video, and animatronics. You can choose how the button is pressed for different kinds of alerts, like long press or a number of times. It creates all the logic required and a dashboard scene with all the controls and readouts your operators will need. Where each actor is stationed in your attraction, you'll need to install a button box. This is a button containing a red LED and a green LED mounted onto a project box, which safely contains the junction and wiring, all of which we provide in a kit form on the Cogs store.
So there you have it. If you're tired of the hassle of walkie-talkies and looking to smoothen out your haunt operations, then get your Actor Assist system online now.
That's very cool. Yeah. it definitely answered, I know, a few of the questions in the chat. Are you okay, Alex, if we jump in with some more questions?
Oh yeah, sure. I want to caveat is that that's a promo video. It won't be launched until next week. So you can't buy it online now. That is a lie. But you will be able to buy it online when the show is live next week.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that breaking news with us. That's awesome. We get a nice preview. Very, very nice. We did have a question. So we had actually a couple of questions that came up on them. I think your video answered half of his question, but is there a way to cancel a click?
Yes, there is. So if the actor, so what we've done, the reason we put like either a long press or a double press is so it won't accidentally get pushed. So if someone gets lent on or like someone else pushes it, but say they did like go, actually, I don't need it now. They can push again and it will cancel.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, how are they wired or are they wireless? Like, do actors have them in their pockets or would it be in the scene?
So they are wired. So it's basically one piece of Cat5 or Cat6 Ethernet cable, which you run from a Cogs digital master somewhere else in the experience, and you run that wire out to the location and you install this thing on the wall or wherever you want, basically. But yeah, it's not a handheld thing.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think that actually answers a lot of questions because we saw a few that came in that said, hey, what about for like a roaming actor? But that's not the case because these are not on the actors. They're in the rooms.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Guys, great questions so far. I think most of them have been answered. If I'm incorrect, put that question back in the chat here and we'll get Alex to talk about it. This is fantastic product. Since they are wired, one of the questions that did come up is what was the range? But I don't think that's an issue because really, as long as you have Cat5, it'll communicate.
Oh yeah, you can go for it. So it's not actually using Ethernet. We're just using the Cat5 as an 8-core cable in this case.
Okay.
And so it's running only 5 volts through it, and we've run cables like over 100 meters, and it's never been an issue. So yeah.
Do you have a maximum number of points?
So I mean, not really. I mean, you can just keep going and going. So like, yeah, in terms of, you just add more digital masters that are taking care of them. So, and we've done shows with hundreds of master boxes in. So there is technically no limit. Well, I'd like to see the limit if there is one.
Sure. That's awesome. Great questions, guys. Great questions.
Yeah.
This is wonderful, Alex. And I know that Cogs has a number of different controls, and this is amazingly one of the most useful and needing things to be implemented.
Yeah. It's like, this is just one thing that like Cogs can do. Basically, it's actually in a way, it's quite a basic thing that Cogs can do.
Sure.
There's a lot more to dig into with Cogs. So yeah, so if anyone comes to the booth, they can play with the Actor Assist system and we can tell them about it, but also we'll have all the kit from Cogs system and we can tell them like all the things it can do.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about the development, like what inspired you to make this and how long did the entire process take?
Yeah, so the first time I installed this system myself, I was in Saudi Arabia for an immersive project, and they needed basically they just needed a queuing system of buttons all around the place. So it was like buttons to start and stop these different rooms, like, and all the queues that would happen in those rooms, and the actors were using these buttons. But they also wanted this emergency button system in there as well, so if something went wrong. And that's when we first started building this. And so ever since then, like, so many different productions have asked for this, and especially Haunts in the UK as well. And they said it would just be a lot easier if we're able to just like very quickly see what the hell's going on. So, and yeah, the same button that is in the kit that we're selling is the same one that I bought all those years ago for the Saudi Arabia job, because it is just brilliant. It's really good, really hardy and like reliable. So it's really that simple. It's a button on a project box, and then off you go. So. But yeah, it really helps with like security and like sometimes with insurance and stuff like that. I mean, I stress Cogs is not a safety system; it's an entertainment system, but it very much does help towards like being able to deal with problems like really quickly.
Sure. Are the buttons weatherproof?
Yes. So the boxes that they come in, the little junction boxes, are like IP rated. You've put the button in the front, so you've made a hole to put that in, but they do have a little rubber gasket. So like, yeah, they can take some beating. We actually put them in a haunt in the UK that was partially flooded, like intentionally. People were wading around in the water, but like, so that's another reason why we sell them in those boxes. We also sell little rubber grommets on the top as well, so the cable going in is completely sealed.
Beautiful. We just have, I know we have a short time because I know you guys are getting ready as well as us. And I know it's, well past 1 a.m. by you, but we do have a couple more questions. For the operator panel, when an alert comes in, can you set that up with an audible alert or a chime?
That is correct, yes. So basically, if it's a minor alert, it will make a certain beeping noise. If there's any major alert, obviously there's a lot of major alerts, there's probably a bomb's gone off or something, but essentially you're probably only going to see one major alert, then automatically, yeah, you'll get a different tone. And so yeah, so like you definitely get an audible alert. Another thing that you could do is that because you can remote into Cogs, say if you had to go away from the operator view for like a bit, you could actually load up Cogs on your phone, and then you can like watch it on there or on an iPad.
Oh, wow.
and you can like check that it's okay, like from a distance.
Wow. Okay. From our mutual friend Alan Hops has a question: could it be a map display as opposed to a text list?
Not in this current form. That would be something a bit more technical, yeah, because what we're using there is the dashboard functionality of Cogs, which is so you can move a lot of stuff around within that. But yeah, the way Cogs works is kind of like that kind of Kanban kind of style, like kind of left to right. So not technically, but to be honest, like this is a system that if people really like this system and and want to keep continuing it, we'll continue to improve it. So like, this is kind of a experiment for us to see if people connect with this product.
Beautiful. Beautiful work. Well, we cannot wait to demo this live and in person at TransWorld 2025. You guys are booth 2231. And if you want to start exploring a little bit more, your website is Cogs, COGS.show. And you can start kind of looking at this brand new opportunity here to make sure you're protecting your actors and giving them a way to communicate without interrupting the show or the experience of your guests. Holy cow, Alex, this is amazing. Anything that you else want to add? I know there's a lot of haunt owners that are on here that are going to come check it out. We've already got some comments saying, hey, we can't wait to go play with this in person. But anything you want to add before we see you in just 6 days?
Yeah, I just want that, like, if you go on the website to find this, you won't find it yet because, yeah, we're not launching it just yet. We're going to launch it at the show. But yeah, please do come to the stand and just play with it and tell us what you think. And like, we will listen because, like, yeah, this year we're doing a lot more around haunts than we did. Actually, we did come last year. We had a much smaller stand, so we've got a much bigger stand this year. And we actually have a in-person store as well, which is different to last year. So we're selling a lot of Cogs equipment at 20% off. So while stocks last, obviously we've only got what we've got. And we're selling the Actor Assist system at 15% off what it usually would be. So that's a TransWorld special discount. And we haven't brought all of those with us because, you know, we're from the UK. We can't bring like crates and crates of stuff. But you put in for pre-order and we'll send those kits out. And they come in kits of 8, 16, and 32 buttons.
Very cool.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Seriously, thank you so much to you and your entire team. We can't wait to play with this live and in person. Have a very, very, very safe travels to St. Louis, and we'll get to check this out very soon.
Great. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Get some sleep.
Holy cow. Rich, great find. I've never even seen something like similar to that in a haunted attraction.
Yeah, and then like for him to spend the time staying up this late for him to be on. Cool. Yeah, that's how dedicated a lot of these vendors are, man. This is what they do for a living. So.
Well, you
go support and me. Like, I mean, just thinking about it, like insurance wise, I mean, this has got to be very helpful. Everybody increases their security because it cuts down on lawsuits and things that occur, you know, in haunted houses. This could probably be a big help for putting eyes on things a lot quicker and maybe preventing things from happening. So. Could not
have said it better. Excellent. Yep. Agreed. Well, our next guests are definitely not newbies, and we're super excited that we are able to squeeze them in right before we see them in St. Louis because they got a lot going on, and we can't wait to celebrate with them. TransWorld Live, help Rich and I in welcoming from Light Up the Night Productions, we have Josh and Renee. Guys, what's up?
How you guys doing?
We're doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Getting excited for next week. And thank goodness the weather's going to be nice because I'm pretty sick of sub-zero and snow.
Us too.
-5 here a couple of days ago. I mean, I'm happy to hear 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's like it's downright balmy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. It'll be a lot better than what we thought it was. The one year we had it in February, man, was it cold, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is on the end of February. St. Louis is weird. Sometimes you'll get 50, 60 degree weather, you know, at the beginning of March, and other times it could be 20. So, you know, luckily we're going to be.
Fingers crossed. When do you guys leave for St. Louis?
I'm leaving Sunday for St. Louis. I just got done loading trucks today, so we're getting ready to get going.
He's the muscle.
We understand that.
I'm getting in Tuesday. And I think most of the team's over the weekend as far as getting everything set up. We have a big booth this year, so we're really excited because a lot of cool stuff coming. So.
Well, before we get into spoiling anything or giving some hints about what you guys going this year, we always have a good cross section of audience here. Haunts and Halloween folks, interactive entertainment, and Christmas. So for those that may not know about Light Up the Night Productions, can you tell us about you guys and everything that you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we specialize in large scale installations as far as theme parks, zoos. We're dabbling with some revenue share stuff, as well as just doing, large scale immersive stuff from Halloween to Christmas, doing summer events. You'll see a lot of new stuff at the show. We're breaking into some different industries as well.
Yeah.
That's we noticed, like, you guys cover Christmas, you cover all those winter holidays, but also Halloween, municipalities, theme parks, branded experiences, festivals, anything commercial, and even drive-through experiences.
Correct.
Holy cow. I mean, we're showing some videos. Robert's got some stuff right now, and I mean, these are larger than life. I know you said big scale, but really, these are huge.
Yeah.
Holy
we
cow.
did some really cool projects this past year. Charlotte Motor Speedway is a partner, Smithsonian Zoo, Living Desert Zoo, Busch Gardens, Anheuser-Busch. We did some really fun stuff, and we've actually been working on 2025 projects for a few months now and into 2026. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's been a lot of fun.
I mean, just some little names, some nobodies, right? It's no big deal.
Yeah. But what's funny is we work with everybody.
What? Oh no, we lost her. Well, Josh, that's the big question we always get is when you have a company like yours, that first question is always, hey, wait, I'm in this town, in this state. Will you work with me? You guys work all over the country, right?
Correct. So we cover from East Coast to West Coast. I would say there's a very minimal amount of states we haven't touched yet.
So not Hawaii yet?
Not Hawaii yet. That's coming though.
All right.
That vacation.
Come on, Hawaiians. Light Up the Night wants to come out. This is awesome. Holy cow. Robert's showing these videos here. This is fantastic work. I know it always scales upon the project, but typically, what is a normal prep cycle for one of your average projects? Are we talking weeks? Are we talking months? Are we talking even years?
So it depends on the scale of the project. Right now, we're already planning a lot of our 2025 projects as far as ordering the inventory, getting the inventory ready, starting to build the schedules. It depends on the scale, like I said, but there's one project we're working on already for 2026. It's just a multi-step project. There's just getting all the vendors in line to do the project as well.
That's beautiful. And I know that you guys talk about this because we've talked with you in the past before. You guys want to make sure that every one of your events are unforgettable, just beautiful opportunities for memories and kids and adults to go home and just go, did you see that? Like, holy cow, like that's crazy. And honestly, even looking at your website or meeting with you guys in the past, you guys are larger than life.
Correct. It's all about, bringing the magic to the events that we're putting on or producing or co-producing with our partners, and just really, trying to encapsulate all the people within that event and make it as immersive as possible.
Absolutely. And as a great byproduct of that, the more engaged, the more excited that they are, the more people you'll attract and you'll increase your revenue. So those displays are very correlated to your success of your event.
Correct.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. Now, I know you guys are booth 4049, and Renee had mentioned you guys have a huge space this year. Can we talk about what you might be bringing to the show this year for people to see and play with?
I would say there's something for everyone in the booth. We're going to have immersive elements, interactive elements. We're going to have a light show, which Rich is going to release the schedule at some point. There's just something for everyone in the booth, and that's about as much as we can go into as detail. There's some product that hasn't been seen yet in the industry that we're really excited that we worked on and developed.
Ooh, ooh, I like, see, hints like that are just awesome. Like, we love new technology, and I know you guys are embracing it with all of your projects. This is fantastic. For people that don't know, and Rich was talking about this a little bit earlier, and I think he'll be back here in a second. We have an amazing stage show that's right in the middle of the entire Christmas show that you guys are actually going to be a huge part of.
So we're not part of the stage show per se. We're going to be doing some live demos on the show of some product. But we are going to have a show in our booth that is a immersive show for everyone to come and watch on the set times and schedules.
Love this. Okay, I love this. Art, if Renee, welcome back. Oh no, we lost her again. Josh, we actually have a question if you're up for it. So our good friend Sir Alan Hops, all the way from Plano, Texas, had asked, what does Light Up the Night Productions do better than anybody else in the field?
So I would say one of our pride and joys when working with a client is just working through the steps and coming and developing your vision, but not only developing that vision, but being able to source custom built product. A lot of the products that we're deploying out on site isn't just something you'll find in a catalog. We're actually getting a lot of these pieces custom developed and designed to fit your event. So that way it's very on brand. So if we're doing a theme park and you need to have an archway that has the theme park name on it, we're able to do that for you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So fully branded solutions to whatever you need.
Correct.
That's awesome.
And we collaborate with some of the best in the industry as well. So, that helps too for us to bring a truly immersive and exciting event.
So you guys, I mean, it's interesting, even, within the Christmas industry, a lot of the vendors do work together, right? You guys, like there's certain things you may not be able to do, but you guys all collaborate together and make it work.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it. And you see that, like, I guess even on some of these things that you're talking about, what you're going to be doing in 26, how, you got to bring other vendors together for certain things you're doing. So that's nice about it. It's, that's what's interesting about the show. A lot of the vendors work together, competition out there, but it is to a point, but a lot of the companies work together as a team.
Correct.
It's a family. It's a family.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think the most definitely come by the booth. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing that kind of putting a twist on some existing product, introducing, giving some of the products that have been in the industry as far as the Christmas side, giving them kind of a new twist, more interactive capability. We're bringing in some of our partners. They're going to be showcasing some of their strengths, and it's going to be a great way to see how, especially I would say the people that are doing haunts that then transition into a holiday event. We're going to have a lot of ideas and elements that can help with that process. As far as it, the element is one thing for Halloween and then can transition into something else for holiday. So that helps from a labor standpoint, just a capital, like a budget standpoint, that kind of thing. A lot of interactivity. I mean, that all of us are seeing that as far as a trend in the marketplace, right? Cause and effect, a lot of audience interactivity and that kind of thing. So, we've taken a lead on that and definitely pushed that. So, we're really excited, and I hope that can't wait to see everybody next week. Looking forward to it.
Renee, that brings up a good point. So, like, the interesting thing is last year when we first, after the show, like some of the vendors and I were talking, and you and I actually had talked several times afterwards on the phone. And what we wanted to see change, the Christmas show is amazing, but a lot of people come to it and say, well, it's a lot of lights, you know what I mean? And I think that's what the show's all about. And we were trying to figure out ways, not to put the Christmas show down in any way, but when you look at what's going on over Hunt side, there's so much going on that so many people look at it and they spend a lot more time over there because there's a lot of interactive things going on with props and animatronics and actors, different things that are going on. And you and I actually had talked a lot and tried to figure out a way to try to get Christmas is interactive, but a lot of it wasn't being shown on the floor. And that's something that we talked about during the off season. And that's kind of what we're planning on doing this year. And, you know, with you guys, and Josh was speaking about the schedule, you know, what some of the things we came up with was interactive entertainment on the floor. And you know, that's some of the stuff that you guys are going to be doing, where you're going to have something going on in your booth where we have live scheduled shows. You know, you'll have to wait and come see what they are, but yourself and a couple other vendors and our stage are going to be putting on different things throughout the day for the 4 days of the show.
Yeah, I think and knowing what, you know, some of the other vendors are doing, exhibitors are doing as well, I think it is taking it the show to another level as far as offering that and showing, you know, showing some of these haunts and up and coming holiday events and festivals, like, hey, you know, this is what it can be, right? And you know, where you didn't necessarily get to see that in years past.
Yeah, and even like in the beginning, I guess when we first started doing this, you know, everything's a process to grow and learn, you know, what people.
Of course.
And these guys, like when we first started this show, to us, everything was all about the lights, the big trees, all that. We got the hall, the right height. We're able to have you guys bring in some massive props and displays that literally amazing. Everyone wows over it when they first come and see it lit up, and it's beautiful. But after a while, you know, you see so many lights, the big room of lights. And now I think this year we've went to the next phase, and we've brought in a lot of interactive entertainment. We've brought in a lot of things that aren't just lights this year, which, you know, I'm excited to see. And we're going to see what I love about what you're going to be doing in your booth is you're kind of trying to tie it all together to show people how it can be at an actual event, how you can put on an event and do these things to attract people. You know, that's really what it's about. And I know you're probably not going to, like, you know, talk about exactly what you're doing in the booth, but can you give us kind of an idea of
want it to be a little bit of a surprise?
What kind of things are you trying to, you know, how are you trying to put this together?
Well, you know, I think one of the things, and Josh, I mean, you can probably speak to this better than me, but I think one of the things that some of this technology in the past has been so expensive, right? And it's, you know, and some of the things that you'll see, we're going to be able to, you know, show you kind of good, better, best. You know, some of the things that, you know, maybe a smaller venue or something like that might not have been able to afford, or just wasn't budget friendly. It's getting there now. And that's, you know, we're going to have some things featuring projection and synchronization and interactivity, all that kind of stuff.
Super cool.
And that's kind of where everything's headed.
Yeah. So how long do you think your shows will run? You know, what you're going to be producing in your booth?
I think we're running a 10-minute sequence.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, we're getting good hints here, guys. Good hints. So you got to carve out 10 minutes to go check them out at booth 4049.
I think it was twice a day, and then we're going to have stuff going on in between, but like the big ones are twice a day, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I sent you over a schedule, and you can kind of mess around with that, and like little stuff you can kind of just run it when you're not, like, you know, when other things aren't going on.
Yeah, we have stuff that we can do, you know, on a constant standpoint, so no problem.
Cool. Yeah, and I think it'll be exciting. Or, you know, when they walk the floor, they're just going to kind of see lights now. I think this all kind of got kicked off a little bit last year from the drone show. It was actually really good.
Yes, 100%. I was right by the drone show, like, and I saw how people would come, like 30, 40 people minimum at a time. Yeah. So, I mean, that is kind of how this all started, Rich.
Yeah, that's the way things are inspired. And we, you know, we look forward to, you know, other phases of the show and other part of the show that we're seeing grow into this. And it's interesting, like Shane from Santaland has been doing a lot of it, but we've always, people don't realize this, but, you know, a lot of big box stores and stuff have closed down that offer gift. And, you know, like, you know, not Spirit Halloween, but Party City, you know, like they've closed their doors. Yeah, so, you know, you're seeing a lot of these places going by the wayside. They're closing down now. And the interesting thing is the people that are selling the majority of the gift now are actual events. So we have seen that side growing into the show, and next year we have some plans for that to expand on that. But like that's the natural progression in this hall and in Halloween where they meet each other, because every one of these events, they're making a lot of money off their gift shops. I mean, I go to some of these farms even, and I'm blown away. I see 50 pies sold every 10 minutes, and then I see these plushie dolls and all that stuff. And Shane was very successful with it last year, and we see a couple other guys that are coming in this year that are bringing in gift, and that's something else that we want to plan on adding in and showing that interactive side of it. Everyone knows the theme park model. You walk out of an event and you end up in a gift shop.
Right.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. And now the funny thing is all these haunted houses and all these Christmas events are getting wise to that. And they're adding a lot of candy, a lot of, hot chocolate, cakes, cookies, everything. So, that's the next progression. And then this interactive entertainment, when it's all tied in together, it's actually going to be really cool seeing it at the show.
Wow. Yeah. Guys, this is awesome. We cannot wait to see this. Our big question, because you're not the newbie on tonight's show, because you guys have been with us for so long, can you talk about just being at TransWorld and how that's impacted your business along your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we started coming to the show, Rich, how many years ago? 7 years ago? Is that how long it's been?
You guys started the first year we had the Christmas show. So
yes.
This is the 6th year. That we've done it. So we're at TSC. I think there might have been, we had the 1 year skipped. So it was 7 years ago. You're right on the math, but we've had 6 shows because we had the one canceled during COVID. So
correct.
Yeah, our 6th. Yep.
I would say coming to the shows really helped scale the business and meet a lot of clients you wouldn't meet from just normal marketing, just theme park clients, just everyone from, theme parks to farms to zoos to botanical gardens. And it really just helps scale your business. But not only that, you're able to network and interact with all these other vendors that, you're just picking up your phone and calling them, but now you get to actually put a face to a name, and it helps network and just build those relationships.
Yes. Amen.
Well, and I think too, the venue itself, I've been doing holiday for a long time now, and going from the Atlanta market, showcasing some of these big pieces, right, to St. Louis, the convention center is 180 degrees. I mean, so that, really allows some of these people to see the true scale of some of this stuff. And I think that's huge. And I'm always promoting the show because I'm like, it is literally the best of the best in the, from a Christmas standpoint, the commercial industry. So if you're going to even remotely think about doing something, you have to come to this show.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting how, what helped us be so successful? We only had a couple Christmas vendors in the show originally, and Jen and I went back and forth on either doing a pavilion or doing its own show. And I was always under the belief that we could build its own show. And exactly what you said about the high ceilings and all that, I knew we had something that, some of the gift shows didn't have. And we're noticing little by little more and more of those vendors are coming to the show and pulling out of places like that because they want to display these big items. They want people to see this in all its glory. So it's kind of cool. But isn't it interesting how the two industries have kind of morphed together? Because a lot of the guys that are doing Halloween are now doing Christmas, and a lot of the guys that are doing Christmas are now doing Halloween. So it's really jolted both industries, which is kind of cool. And you guys could probably talk about that, about some of your clients, how you're transitioning shows from one holiday to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of, one of the potential projects we're talking about right now is transitioning a Halloween show to a Christmas show, but we only are going to have 14 days to flip it. So that's where a lot of the elements that we're bringing to the show are going to make it easier for the client and the installer to flip their show in a quicker process. So a lot of the lights will be able to just change a program, or this element you can change the projection on it. There's just different ways and how we're simplifying the process.
And we've been talking about this for 6 years, trying to get people to do that because it's what people want. They want, obviously the cost of some of these items are pretty expensive, the big ticket items. And if you can use them for 2 holidays, it makes it a lot easier to spend that money.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Correct.
Very cool.
Well, we can't wait to hang out with you guys in literally less than 6 days. Booth number 4049. Start your shopping right now in your mystification at lightupthenightproduction.com. Josh, Renee, this is awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Thank you guys
you.
for having us.
We will see you in a couple days.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, I know. Holy
Oh,
cow.
God. I know, right? It's not real.
Yeah. I leave Sunday morning, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you Sunday afternoon then.
Yeah.
We'll be there Sunday afternoon. So
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys.
printing exhibitor badges. So fun stuff.
Perfect.
Fun stuff.
Look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, no
guys.
problem. Thanks for the opportunity. See you next week.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Rich, those guys are awesome. Seriously.
So cool. It's cool to see, like, how this industry is changing so quickly.
It
and
is.
things are like morphing together, and the new technologies that are coming in every year. Like we have all these projection mapping guys that are coming.
Yeah.
2 different ones coming this year. BenQ and Lumibot. Like it's actually.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. I mean, literally, this is not your father's Christmas shows. I mean, this is changing everything.
It is.
And it's great to see our cornerstones be just a huge guiding light in that, with you working as your partners to make sure that TransWorld is also representing everything that is needed to push Christmas and everything that the Christmas show stands for forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's
Oh.
cool. And we're seeing a lot of international vendors coming in now too. So
Yeah, which is
cool vendor in the middle, FDS, who's coming out of piece. So it's fun. You're going to have vendors from all over the world. You're going to have attendees from all over the world, and it's great that we're like our show's actually on the map for this kind of stuff. That these guys are coming from other places. I mean, we've always had attendees from several different countries.
Sure.
Really cool when you're seeing the vendors coming in. So
So
Christmas
true.
is big in the United States, but it's not as big in Europe. Europe is much bigger.
Yeah.
For Christmas,
Yeah.
where we dominate Halloween,
Yes.
they dominate Christmas. So it's cool that we're growing in that market, and more people are getting into it. So
Love that. Love that. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to have a quick mention of our amazing TransWorld Live premiere show sponsor, Ticket Spice. Oh, we love those guys. Thank you, Ticket Spice, and go check them out on the floor. They do have a booth in Christmas as well as on the Halloween and haunt side. And then you can start your shopping at ticketspice.com. Thanks to those guys. Rich, we're only halfway. We've got 2 more amazing people that you know about, but we're so excited to expose to the rest of our audience as they make their TransWorld 2025 debuts.
yes,
Are you ready for the next one, sir?
I am ready.
Let's do it. Guys, welcome Nick and Joe from CityLights VR and Sinister in. Guys, what's up?
Hi.
Hey everyone.
How's it going?
What's going on? Are you getting excited? Like, how is it feeling as you guys are coming to TransWorld for the first time? You're seeing all these other people here. Does it get your blood boiling?
Yeah, we're this is what we've been waiting for. We've been developing for this audience. We've created something that is accessible to everyone, and we just can't wait to show it off so everyone can see it.
And what really excites us on the CityLights VR side about Sinister in is that these guys have spent years really kind of honing the experience in every way, finding guest feedback, and then incorporating that into their experience. And we really feel like this is the best low cost and like high throughput and high revenue generating, honestly, VR experience that any haunt owner can incorporate easily into their haunt.
Very cool.
Love this. We know very, very little. We know that you guys are all about immersive storytelling and have produced some amazing products in a King Tut voyage, Yosemite, and even working in professional football. But for all of us that are brand new to you guys, tell us what you do.
So The best way to describe CityLights, and then we'll do broad level, and then we'll narrow down into Sinister in, so everyone knows really what to expect when they come to our booth. But VR industry wise, CityLights, we are a content studio that we create, finance, and distribute world-class VR experiences, as you said, from King Tut, the actual artifacts, and like the really dramatic burial mask with the blue and the gold and the eyeliner that's so famous, right? We worked with that a really famous space piece called Spheres, 3 episodes with like Millie Bobby Brown and Jessica Chastain as voice talent, so like recognizable household names. Yosemite VR with Bryan Cranston as the voice, right? Like, and then a football experience with Patrick Mahomes. So for CityLights, we really focus on evergreen content and stuff that will be the highest quality, as well as be really marketable and generate revenues. And we've spent 6-7 years really honing in on what really works for location-based experiences in VR, which really makes us really excited to be at TransWorld next week and apply that experience to haunts with Sinister in.
Yeah. And then a little bit about us. So I am the owner of 1000-Bit. We developed Sinister in, and I've been in the game industry for 20 years. I've built stuff with Walt Disney Imagineering. I designed the Jurassic World VR expedition that was at Dave & Buster's. So I've kind of been in fun, cool, interactive stuff, and I've been really focusing on VR haunted houses. And we did a lot of tests with a bunch of different clients and different people going through. We were at Midsummer Scream last year, and so we got to see people go through it and get scared and refine the experience. And so we've been focusing a lot on making this like the most fun haunted house VR experience that doesn't require any controls or anything like that.
Very cool.
Love this. Love this. Gretchen had mentioned in the chat earlier, pictures and videos are one thing, and we're going to get a chance to see that here in just a second. But we all know that that's a small substitute for being able to experience it in person. Are you guys going to have live demos for people to be able to experience at TransWorld?
Heck yeah. I mean, that's really the only way to sell VR. Get in a headset like this one here, put it on, and actually walk around and really see the power of VR and how it immerses you in a very real way. Like this, what we call the sense of presence in VR is very different than any other medium of storytelling that we have thus far. And here's a thing that makes the sense of presence so important, and also kind of explains why a haunt owner should consider VR. Is first off, a significant number of people have never done VR. So there is a novel element to VR. And I should like caveat that by saying like the majority of people haven't done like quality VR. Many of us in like 2013, 14, 15 had like a Samsung Gear VR where like you saw a roller coaster on your phone and then you got motion sick and then you're like, VR sucks. But now we are here 10 years later with much better technology. And beyond novelty, the thing about the solution for Sinister in is that it's low cost, low maintenance, as well as high revenue generating with a very small footprint. We'll get into the specifics a little bit later. But with 6 foot by 20 foot, you can have 3 people going up and down in a haunted inn with a variety of scary things. And then it scales like linearly. Any 6 by 20 foot space, indoors, outdoors, works for this experience.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and what you'll find out too with our industry that's interesting, this started years ago, and this is why we created the interactive entertainment zone, is because a lot of these haunted houses are only running for 30 days out of the year, and they spend all this money. They got to rent the place for the entire year or own the building. And we've been trying to figure out for years how to add on additional income for these guys. And this is the type of stuff that they do. They'll add on VR, they'll add on like archery tag or, paintball or laser tag. There's a lot of things that they do to try to make money throughout the year. And that's what's cool about this. They can do this stuff throughout the year without paying a bunch of staff to be there, and operate.
You know, Rich, that was my key learning from last year. I just came as just a buyer, essentially. I bought the buyer ticket last year to really discover about, and learn about the haunt industry. And I was really struck by a number of things why the haunt industry in VR is a perfect fit. First, haunt owners are so entrepreneurial.
Yes.
And when I learned all about all the different components you're talking about that they added, I'm like, this is the right the right target audience. Two, they kept mentioning this one metric that we use as well to judge whether certain opportunities are good or not, and it's throughput. Throughput being the number one go-to metric.
Always.
And so, and then third, I saw that the haunt owners, by and large, are like more tech savvy and like open to new things than I think probably the average American.
Yeah, they do a lot of their own tech. That's the interesting thing. So a lot of these guys are hands-on. You know, there are certain people to just buy the product and it's easier for them, but a lot of them are hands-on. They build their own facades. They build a lot of this stuff. But we also have guys that vend that are facade builders. So like it goes both ways. It just depends on the client. But yeah, I think your product could be very successful there. It'll be successful even for escape room owners as well, which you have a large contingent of those there as well in the interactive area. We have an entire board and in the spend some time in the interactive entertainment lounge because you're going to see a lot of escape room owners in that area.
Oh, very much so.
And you're talking about year-round revenue. Sorry, Chris. Just keeping the conversation going.
No, keep it.
When you have these headsets, and use them for 30 days, whatever, 45 days for Halloween. We have educational content, right? Spheres is about space. We have King Tut history, have Yosemite National Parks, the U.S. history. And we also have access to pretty much every piece of like good VR content around the world. And so we know all those guys. And this could be a really cool and compelling revenue generating year-round not even attraction, but like installation that these haunt owners can use year round, even on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we were last week. We were at Valentine Haunt at Sacramento Screen Park, and because it's so modular and so small, we were just added on within notice, like within weeks of the event, and so we don't have to staff up really. We just put it on there, and that was it. And that's how it was built. It was built not only for the audience to give everyone really cool scares, but also for the operator, because we kept it at as small as footprint as possible. We wanted the really high throughput, but we also wanted it to be people can organize themselves to go through it. They don't have to have someone hold their hands. Everything tells them to go forward. So it really does stand alone on its own. It's meant to be as frictionless as possible.
Yeah, it's cool because you could do both. It could be an offering where it's a standalone business, or it can be an add-on. What a lot of these guys have done, it's interesting that you talk about throughput. So escape rooms have always been usually on average like an hour. Most people do spend an hour, and the throughput isn't great because of that, you know. But they have a bunch of escape rooms. They might have 7 different versions or 10 different versions in their facility. But what the Haunters did is they created 5-minute escape games. And they charge like $5, you know what I mean, for like 2 people to go in there or something like that. So they were generating more revenue because they would be able to put more people through at a lower dollar amount, and the profit margin was higher for them. So they love stuff like that. They're always looking for ways to try to add on. So, you know, like even a farm, those guys like print money. It's kind of funny because they bring in the population. They'll bring in 100,000 people in like 30 days, or maybe just 4 weekends. You know what I mean? They're not open during the week, and they'll do 100,000 people in 4 weekends during October. And everything in their business is about, generally it's free to get in, and then everything's a la carte. So like all these types of things they love, you know.
Yeah,
I do. You selling it the right way to them, they love it.
Right.
Yeah, and I do want to share one quick story. Because I was operating this at one of our amusement parks last Halloween, and I would get people coming up to me and they'll see the VR and they'll say, "How long is this?" Almost like in a painful way, like how long is this? Yeah. And then when I told them it's about 3 minutes, they were actually relieved. They're like, "Oh, good," and they got excited about it. So it's very interesting to see that that the efficiency is for both sides.
Absolutely. Oh, I know we've been talking about this. Should we show some people? We've got a couple of movies here that Robert's got loaded up. Should we show some people some of your work?
Let's bring it on.
Perfect.
Let's take a peek.
What did you think? Oh, damn! Well done. What did you think?
That's awesome.
I love the reactions. Any haunt owner can appreciate that, the way those guys react, not even seeing what they're looking at. It's actually pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be like living in a video game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's surprising. One thing that I learned is that we actually need to pull back on the scares because it got too scary a lot of times. So we found a really good balance of the right amount of spookiness for the experience.
Love it.
Now, we are starting to get some questions, and I think you just touched on something that some of our haunt owners are going to ask you about, because they're starting to ask right now, is if they want to customize that VR experience, if they want to really turn up that scare level, turn it down, maybe add any custom features to it. Are those options?
So we could come up with a potential product roadmap, but as of right now, the way Sinister In is what it is.
Okay, gotcha.
And with the exception, if they wanted to put like Scary Farms Nebraska Presents, whatever, like a title card is relatively easy. If they're like, you know what, let's put a vampire riding a kraken that's gonna like jump out of, like that kind of thing, like calm down. But if you want a title card or like an ending card, that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, and that it's funny that you use that example, because there is a question in here. Could they talk to you, not necessarily about Sinister In, but a potential custom solution where maybe they have some of their icon characters in a special to them VR experience? Would you guys be interested in conversations about those?
Heck yeah. We're open to all conversations. Across the board. We're open to new content development conversations. We're open to editing Sinister In conversations, and it all boils down to what is the cost,
Sure.
what the scope of work is, what the cost is to change things, and if the potential business partner wants to front that cost. And it's just all of that's negotiations, right? It's too boring of stuff for a podcast, but unless you disagree, like I don't think everybody wants to hear about term sheet negotiations on a podcast.
Nope. Everybody's got that. You'll have custom discussions with everybody. So yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic. And like we mentioned before watching those videos, everybody coming to TransWorld can come by your booth at booth 2833 and get to put the headset on and experience Sinister In live and in person.
That's right.
Oh, and the full 3-minute production?
That's right.
Yep. Holy cow. Okay.
So you'll see the whole thing. And like some of the cool things about Sinister In, right, is that it's actually a story. Joe's history is he's a game designer.
Love that.
So you mentioned earlier, it's like being inside a video game, and we actually don't really love that language because there's no interactivity. You're just like you're walking. It's a narrative experience. You're walking through. There's no controllers. Streamlining the operational impact was really important for good LBE and for good throughput, right? And so it's more like you're walking through a cool story rather than a video game.
Yeah, and so the thing that we always keep in mind is accessibility. So we've had people in wheelchairs, we've had people who are deaf, people who can only see out of one eye, and people who don't speak English. Everyone enjoys it because we put so many elements in there that it's hard to not get scared and not be engaged in the experience. And so we're really happy about the accessibility too.
And in terms of like setup time, so some of the reasons VR stuff fails in the past. I mean, I asked a bunch of haunt owners last year, have you done VR? And over and over, they're like, oh God, yeah. We bought this shooting game. We made no money. It was a sunk cost. It cost $150,000, and we were all excited about it. And I don't even want to talk about VR. And so like that was a lot of the energy, or it was like, oh man, it looks like really technical, really complicated. Look, we're just keeping our head above water just to get the ticketing, the lines, all of the actors, all of that. And so it was really clear to me that what we needed was a solution that was low technical cost, low capital expenditure, and actually was more of in the military we used to call a force multiplier, right? We're not asking people to retrofit an entire 10,000 square foot warehouse where you just buy the hardware and then you install the content on the hardware after setting it up, and then you mark out a 6 foot by 20 foot lane. And that's what we'll have next week at the show. We'll have several of these lanes so people can see this is all you need.
Wow.
2 booths wide, and you can have up to 3 people in the same lane at the same time going through the haunted house. Actually, at Valentine's Day, the couples were like holding hands going through all the story moments in it. And it was like this really cute thing. And we're always looking at, you're talking earlier, Rich, about like the a la carte option, the like price versus time value proposition, right? Like,
Yeah.
we haven't experienced any price sensitivity up to like $10 to $15 per ticket for a 3 to 5 minute experience here. So we're talking like $2 to $3 per minute, or $3 to $5 per minute of content.
Yeah, and some people finish it in like a minute and a half because they're so scared and they do a speed run. But everyone is satisfied at the end of it. I have not seen anyone come out and they weren't like amazed by going through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we had a few comments actually, like for people, it's great entertainment for those that aren't even going through the experience to be able to watch the person with the headset on, scream and kind of duck and dodge and, weave and having fun with that. That's almost just as much fun to watch their reactions.
One haunt last year, they put it in their the entry area.
Okay.
So people who are in line to get in, they could pop over there, spend a few bucks, and like get in the VR headset, and they'll keep their place in line. And now, as you said, it's like entertainment to be able to watch these people, and you're like, it's intriguing. You're like, why was she ducking? What was that? Was it a kraken tentacle? Was it a bat? Was it a spider? You don't know.
Yes.
I mean, to me, I think that would be these guys love queue line entertainment. So like building like an enclosed area that maybe just had plexiglass, you could watch people from the outside standing in the line, watching that going on. Everyone's going to wonder what it is, and it's probably going to be a selling tool for them. Seeing these people interact and the way they're acting. Everybody loves that kind of stuff. So it's probably a great idea for the queue lines, or when people are standing in lines, they love entertainment. So this is something where they're getting paid for people to entertain the people in their line. So it's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
Heather asked a question in the chat about adding any spooky sense. I would imagine that that's not with the headset, but certainly in any sort of arena or area that you set it up, a haunt owner or any sort of an attraction owner could accent that area.
I mean, that's the really key thing, right? It can integrate with haunt. So if you have like a chainsaw massacre haunt, it can go on the side over here. If you have like the haunted like Scooby-Doo corn maze, it also fits there. And interestingly, people, like, our brains are weird in terms of sense. Like with our King Tut experience, we've had people ask, did you pump like mineral smell? It smelled like we were actually in the cave and we're like, no, you're at this venue. Like, we don't have Egyptian cave mineral scent. Candles lit in the corner.
Yeah, and we are continuing development on other attractions outside of Sinister Inn. So there is a chance that there could be some more 5D stuff. But again, like Nick was saying, that when you're in VR, you associate whatever sensor you have to what you're watching. So things like that can integrate very easily.
And I'm not sure I want to like smell the Chainsaw Massacre Hotel or like the spider cave with the decaying bodies. I don't know what a spooky scent is.
Rich, we're going to have to take them by our good friends Froggy's Fog, and we'll have to give you an introduction in some of the decapitation smells.
Yeah,
Might be good.
they got a
That
ton
might
of
be fun.
different scents you can incorporate. You can incorporate some misters, all different types of stuff. Snow, yeah, bubbles.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's actually pretty cool. You could probably take this. So
But you are right, because there's probably a synapse in the brain that fills in that smell gap, and that's wild. I can't wait to experience it. We're going to have to come by and
sure.
do a live stream with you guys, and just to be able to experience that, get some real life testimonial.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, we'd love that.
Heck yeah, booth 2833.
Yes, so excited. Sinisterin.com. Robert's posting it up there for you guys to see it. Go check it out. It looks amazing. We can't wait to experience it. And to Gretchen's original point, until we experience it, I think these videos are just going to be second best. So
That's
For
right.
sure.
gotta go check it
Very
out.
cool.
Guys, thanks for being a part of this, and congratulations on being a part of your brand first time at TransWorld 2025 exhibiting. We can't wait to see you in less than a week.
Look
See
forward
you
to
next
seeing you
week.
next week, Nick and Joe. Take care.
Thanks. Rich, that's awesome. Like, I'm getting excited already. I mean, we're already jazzed, but
I know it's kind of funny because I've never been a VR person, but I mean, it actually just seeing the people is what made me more interested. Seeing the way they were reacting and stuff. Like I see
Yes.
people in VR and they're walking around and trying to touch things and things like that. But it was interesting because they were like freaked out, by some stuff.
Oh.
So
and I love the approach that Nick and Joe are taking towards this. It's such science-based. It's amazing. I think it's going to do wonderful for guests of haunted attractions from coast to coast.
I agree, and I love the idea of having it up near the queue lines. I actually think that
Yeah.
if they could build some bays like that where people can watch it, it would entertain them standing in line. It's
Oh,
less
you're-
active to deal with. It's actually really cool.
Your plexiglass idea is so smart, because then people can laugh at seeing those experiences, but also it encourages them. They like, what are they ducking, or what are they screaming at?
Hey, you might not even need the plexiglass. I mean, it could be wide open, but I mean, it's kind of interesting. It'll be cool to watch it and have it up there and see the people reacting. And then their friends are going to want to try it.
Yes,
Cool.
100%. Oh my gosh. But
Right.
wait, there's more. We still have more, Rich. Oh my gosh, so excited. We are very, very happy to have him with us. It's his first time to the show, and he's got a very unique story about his journey here with TransWorld. Rich, you know him, you love him, and all of TransWorld here help us in welcoming Mr. Bob Cohen from Be Back Incorporated.
How are you doing, guys? Good to
What's
see
up,
you.
Bob? Long time no see, Bob. Long.
Yeah,
time.
you're not kidding.
So,
Only days away.
Bob's the guy that actually caused the COVID crisis in the United States.
Breaking news.
Dang it. We had for those of you that have been with us for a long time and have actually been through the year that we canceled for COVID. Bob was the first person that called me. I met him at another trade show. He booked to exhibit, and he gives me a call in January. And he's like frantic on the phone. And he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Are you canceling the show? Are you this, you that? And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's going on about how, this virus is going rampant all over the world, and it's coming to the United States, and everything's going to shut down. And I tell Jen, like at the time, Jen and I weren't married, and I says, I don't know who this guy is, but he sounds like he's crazy. and sure enough, Bob was he predicted the future. Like 3 weeks later, the whole country shut down. We literally waited till as long as we could, and we had to cancel the show because we knew it would devastate a lot of businesses that did never come back from it. But that's where it happened. And now, funny thing is, Bob gave me a call a couple of days ago. He must have like the best luck in the world. The floor was sold out. Someone canceled right before. He calls me, tells me he wants to do a booth and wants to get back and at the show. And then sure enough, everything worked out, and here he is.
That's right. And I'm excited to be part of this year's show. And I think it's a great podcast you guys do. And this is the first time for me to watch it. The way you're hosting it, the energy level, and then Rich, your dedication to the industries that are inside that building. It's pretty impressive when you think about how you guys are centering the world energy of celebration with themes of different times of the year in one building. It's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I got to ask you a question. That guy sitting back there in the middle there, and that little picture right there, who is that?
So this, a lot of people would know him as this. This is Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick. He's going to be at your show, and he's going to be signing as a celebrity. You can spend time with him. He's going to be in the Little Spiders booth, and I guess that's near the front entrance, is what I'm hearing.
Right at the front door. Yep.
It is.
Yeah. So
the first booth.
So Butch will be there. He's part of the reason I called you. I didn't tell you the whole story, but he and I are working on something for the horror industry, which you'll know about as this year unfolds. And his talking to me about the show made me decide I should come back, because I didn't get a chance to show my work with my hologram human display. So
tell us about your stuff, Bob. Tell us what you do.
So me, I took this path 15 years ago. Be Back Inc. is designed to be an economic way to bring humans that aren't with us back. And that's how I started it, as bringing back legends in different industries. And it's a really straightforward process I figured out. And so I offer what's called the hologram window. It's a 65-inch diagonal 4K, but it has special optics on the glass, and it has special processing inside. This device can actually play 2D signal, anything ever recorded, and it'll come out in 3D depth with no glasses viewing. You don't have to put anything to watch it. And then what happens is, you're seeing my business card there, the zombie, this is my hologram DJ in the back as an entertainer. So I do hologram entertainer, hologram performers with guitars. Hologram speaker. You can have it as a greeter in your booth, or greeter at your start when people are waiting in line at the haunts. They could have a hologram message that's a mix of characters that could morph from one to the other. And we're actually working with AI now with the characters. And this, with the picture you just popped up right there, that's a restaurant theme that I created. You have live stage, but at every VIP booth, you have the performer at your table in hologram. And so it's never been done. I like to create tomorrow, and I just have this vision of how I think we're going to want to be entertained in the future with people that aren't with us, with avatar characters, with recorded images of people that can't be 1,000 places in one night, and this is going to let them do it. And I've been working with it from cell phone to the largest LED screens. I have a facility in Las Vegas where I do the larger LED walls. My partner, Daniel, is XLED. He does the 2D panels. I do the optics and the software. There's the showroom. I'm not sure. Oh, there's the video. So this XLED, he did the first Fremont Street in Vegas, the biggest LED wall ever built. And then he did it the next time they refreshed. So he and I are partner now in the future of putting no glasses and hologram effects into any surface, curved, flat, indoor, outdoor, no limit on size. Like I said, I started with cell phone and then took it up to this is an example. I don't know if you're, I guess you're showing that.
Yeah.
So this is a lens kit you put on your lens protector, and it has the pattern of the optics at nano level. And then you have an app you download, and then what happens is you can play it back. I'll try to bring it in. You're not going to see it because it's on single view right now, but this phone is a 2D phone. With the app and the lens, it made it a 3D no glasses phone. You don't have to do a phone. So this is kind of, I'm a tech guy. I'm a mad scientist. I like to create tomorrow. I like to see people smile. I like to see people feel they're alive. So I think the haunt industry brings that. It's kind of, you face your fears, the unknowns, and then some of your worst nightmares. And but with the this screen, so this will be what's going to be at the event. This is my hologram window. This content has the gold frame. The trees are about 30 feet back in the scene, and then the zombie reaches forward about 2 to 2.5 feet. And you can record your own footage, or I can make custom footage that we can get up to 4 feet out. You'll see this guitar behind me. I guess, I don't know if you can clip back, but this guitar goes 4 feet out of the glass, but no glasses. You're seeing it kind of do it.
I mean,
right
yeah,
now.
it really looks like it is.
Yeah.
And even the punching, there's this. It's something I've been pursuing since the 80s when we had the glasses like Captain EO at the Disney. And then I even remember Elvira with the red-green glasses from 7-Eleven. So I'm trying to be part of the future where every flat screen device, everything we look at that has a light source of image, you'll be able to see it with both eyes with items in place the way the brain likes to see it without having to have anything on your human body to see it. I apologize. I know the ones before were on the Oculus format, which I think is amazing the way that works also. So we have some cool projects in place. I'm going to do some show specials in celebration of being back with you guys. The last time I was with you was wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. 1997. It was the 50-year anniversary of Roswell, and I came and you guys did the dark zone the first time.
Yep.
I had everything in neon and glowing, and so I had autopsy table with the chest opened up, pumping green fluid. I had the alien bags with the toe tags and green muck glowing in the bags, and I did an alien called Big Al, and it was animatronics because I was kind of an animatronic guy, and I have built haunted houses over the years. So this format that I came up with, you can change the characters at any time back and forth. You could use it as Santa Claus during Christmas. You could use it as Easter Bunny during Easter. You could use it as a spinning heart in your store for Valentine's. It can be any character now with AI. You can type in what you want. I could say I want to see Rich with looking like Dracula, and it'll make it, and then we play it in the screen. And if you reach forward, you can tune. There's tunability with the screen with the processors to actually make you'll get the depth, but it'll feel like he's reaching into the room. So I think I'm bringing something. Well, I know I'm bringing something that's never been done in the history of haunt and amusement parks. So I think I wanted to bring some excitement to your show. I meant to be more than a 2-day warning. I'm coming, but I think doing a podcast is smart because some people are now going to know there's something kind of never been seen for an amusement park application. I replace when we have someone that's not there. So that's why I call it Be Back Inc. I let humans be back in a hologram effect. I'm doing these show specials that are celebration of being back with you guys. And then I'm also representing Operation Million Mile March. And part of the sales are going to the charity for the kids from child trafficking out here. We have a group that I support. So I'm letting you know that too. Any
absolutely
sales are going to help these guys. So
very cool.
Well,
celebrating each day, right?
Absolutely, yes. Bob, we do have a couple of questions if we can bring those up from the chat here. So does it work with projectors or is it just strictly flat screen TVs?
So what happens is it's got its own light source. So think of it as a cell phone or your tablet or your laptop or your TV or billboard. They all have their image and they all have their colors and resolution and quality. And so what happens is, like you would do with 3D glasses, you put it on your eyes, or Oculus has it on your face. So this setup is set up where it's on the screen, and then it's tunable. And in the software, there's two processors. One can take 2D, make the second eye. And once you have the second eye, then the second processor takes the right left and sends it with a algorithm that works with the pattern of the optics, so that you can have this. I don't know. I'm trying. Yeah, there we go. So, so the answer is no. Projection would glare the glass. And it's kind of like, what happened right there. You can kind of see where that light is. If I put
I see it.
So it's actually, I'm a design consultant for this type of application, and I've experimented with a lot of things. When you bounce light, it's different than when the light's coming straight at you. So we've work where you can put a lens on the wall and shoot a projection back and forth and have it do this. So it has to have the light source behind it.
No worries. No worries.
You know.
Does when you guys finish a completed file, so you have a couple of custom characters and they work with you to create those, are those loaded onto the TV itself or like a flash drive, or is there an external hard drive?
So you can record with a stereo camera, and you'll be able to have most of the effects in real time, and you could record your own files to a flash drive.
Okay.
It will take 2D files and give you 3D depth. It'll give you the right, left, and give you depth. To get the pop out, we have to deal with what's called the parallax, the negative parallax. So 4 feet out, as something comes closer, our eyes start to cross. Both eyes go in an angle and tells the brain where something is. So that needs to have the effects that I'm showing here, or I'll show at the show. I need to film it to get the extreme 4 feet out of the screen.
Very awesome. Very awesome. We've got another question if we can ask. This is really cool, Heather says. Does it work if it's above or below the audience, or does it need to be straight on eye level?
So it's pretty respectable, not knowing what the height would be on that question, but I would say, it's about 130 degrees right to left. I'll say 20 degrees high or low. You can always tilt the screen slightly too, obviously to reset the center feel of it. And it is tunable. So you can enhance the effect if it's because of an angle situation.
We had a question I think we know the answer to. Can we add a custom soundtrack or effects or music? I'm thinking yes.
Yeah, sounds, anything you want.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of these clips have no sound. You probably noticed it. Well, I actually don't have it turned up, but so yeah, we're at a stage where sound surrounds us, and we got the opportunity with the headsets to have our visual experience surround us. I'm working on some things right now. There's some projects already finishing and a couple that just finished out here on the West Coast. So you'll start hearing about what I'm up to. COVID did stop me, so Rich was right. My intention was to come straight to that show and just keep our momentum, because I had just started to let people know what I had ready. But Rich, you guys, I bridged the gap, and now I'm back. So
we're excited to have you, Bob.
Love this.
Yeah,
a lot of things you could use this for. I was even thinking about even like a business signage would actually be pretty cool. You know what I mean? To even if you had a big screen, with your company name on there and things popping out at you, I think.
Right. And I will have flash drive. I'm going to have 2 screens that'll be playing haunt style or Christmas style. I have Santa Claus that turns into Krampus. So you'll see some of the effects of the theme of your show. And then I'll have a 3rd screen if they want. I can show them some other stuff that's not, just like some of this you're seeing. I mean, a DJ, that's not your show, but I just I'm letting people know that I can bring humans back. I put Buddy Rich at his drum kit. I put Liberace at his piano. I
love it.
When Neil Peart passed away, I put him in his drum kit. It's just it's a different way to do it, because I can have the real object, the real piano, the real candelabra, the real drum kit, and then the person's in it. In hologram. So awesome. I'm doing it in a way different way. It's just the way my head wanted to go with it, and it's 15 years later.
Maybe you can bring Vincent Price back, or
hey, well, if someone had footage, they want to bring it to the show, I can put it on a flash. I'll have a computer. I can put it on a flash. We can watch Vincent in real time.
Live demos right there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can bring any content you have. I'll be glad to show it how it looks. It works. Yeah, you can take current content. It just gives you the depth. I treat it as a window. You saw with this zombie format, I made it a picture frame that could be over a couch, and I show that on our website. And so that all of a sudden, this broken window, there's a character that reaches in over the top of you, and So this will be playing, and then I have one where I put a broken window on it, and he reaches in the window.
Oh, nice.
So there's subtle things. Different people have their own themes of characters. So I can have their character constantly interacting throughout a theme park at different little hidden spots and talking to and it's a hologram. So
That's very cool.
Well, and just to give our audience a little bit of additional inspiration, you guys don't just do scary and spooky, but you also do aquariums and have fish running around and just make that interactive magic and bring those characters to life. Doesn't necessarily have to be spooky. It could be almost anything.
Right. There was a show that was doing custom aquariums for people that you watched on TV, and some of the people from that show came to me, and we created a solution of aquariums with holographic fish. And what we would do is build a kiosk, which you may have some of the shots. I don't know if what I sent for sure now, but I can show those things at the show too. But basically I can build a custom cabinet that's a volcano, or it's the stadium of the Raiders in Vegas, and I put the screen in it. And now what's happened is the glass is 12 inches. The screen is set back 12 inches with a glass in front of it, and the fish are out in that space. So when you sit back, they're actually swimming around in that airspace. So an aquarium at scale, they usually cost you $1 a gallon to maintain the water every month for certain fish. Then you got the cost of the fish. Then you got the weight of the water. Do you have a foundation to put that thing there? And then the cost of running the temperature. So we kind of get around all that. Plus I can put Rich's head on a mermaid and have him swim by in the scene. And, you can just have this fish tank, and all of a sudden, like I said, there goes Rich. He's coming through. And, and I can do sharks bigger than the opening. We could put the screens side by side. So I have what I call a 3x3, where it's 3 across, 3 high, and it's 160 diameter 3D no glasses man cave screen, but it actually is an aquarium if you want, or you can watch the Super Bowl or any of the games. But I also do LED. So I have the LED, unlimited size for LED, and I can go outdoors with it. Against one of the tricks with hologram, nobody can do it unless it's dark. Well, I've got it where I can go in the sun. Sun's 5,000 nits. I'm 7,500 nits. I actually can put holograms on a stage in the daylight.
Wow.
Nobody's done it.
Rich, we need this for TransWorld HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, this is awesome stuff. I know people have been commenting in the chat about how they need this and can't wait to experience it. You're going to be able to do that this year, TransWorld 2025, at booth 2006. And of course, your website is bebackinc.com. Go check that out and start imagining any possibility that they can work with you on.
Right. And one last thing, at the front booth, the little spiders with Butch, Eddie Munster signing, we're going to have a special thing. This is just a quick shot, but this is part of it. He'll have something there that he could show you right when you walk in, that a little bit of how the tech works. I didn't want to show it right now. I had it up, then I changed my mind. I think I better save it. I want your show to be kind of like, whoa, I'm so glad we went.
We're keeping the surprises. Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, also, I'm in California right now. Do you know that I'm driving to you from here to be at the show?
What kind of drive time is that?
How many people drive to our show from all over?
But I mean, that's my dedication. 2 days ago, he gave me a booth.
Yeah.
I just loaded the car. I had to preset everything, test everything. It's ready to go. I'm leaving tomorrow, but I'm a couple stops on the way, but I'll be there Tuesday night to unload, and then Wednesday to set up.
All right.
We can't wait.
Well, this industry is very important. You're, again, family, entertainment, amusement. We all need to celebrate each day.
Yep.
And
there's
no bad days, just bad moments. We got to learn that to focus, just learn the lesson, and then still celebrate that night for that thing that went amazing. Because if you keep your mind open, there's amazing things every day that try to get to us. And I think what you represent with these industries, that's the message. You know, let's go with the family, let's go with your favorite people, and let's go have a blast. Let's go just let the mind and the body just go somewhere, you know.
Yep, it's all interactive fun. So
yeah, so this show, I just looked over your show, you know, in the last 2 days, and I'm amazed what you have under that roof. I mean, it's unreal.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
We appreciate that. And when you see it live, it's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you, and I don't know, the powers above, I guess, wanted you and I to have a chance to rebridge from that other moment. Yeah. And I think my coming to the show is a symbol that it is over, and we're gonna get going now. So be ready.
Good. We all like to see positive things, so that's awesome, Bob.
Love this. I'm so excited, Bob.
See you, safe travels.
Yeah. The weather's gonna warm up as I get there.
Yes.
That's awesome. Bring the heat.
Yes, we need it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here to help make the show be what it can be. So
we're going to stop by. We'll see you live and in person here in just like 6 days.
I know. Crazy. All right. Thank you so much.
Can't wait, sir.
Everything. Great podcast, by the way. I really enjoyed everyone you had on is really dedicated to what they're up to.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Great.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Right, thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I'll see you.
Rich, what great finds. Holy cow.
Yeah, another cool vendor. So
can you imagine? I mean, we could see it in escape rooms, we could see it in haunted houses, we could see it in restaurants. I mean, it could be anywhere.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I mean, I think the side of it too that you haven't even, when you don't even think about it, is like even the cartoon characters and stuff, you know, for the kids. And I think there's a lot of possibilities with what he has. It's going to be neat to see it live. I've seen the screens when I met him, you know, probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
we had met, and it was pretty amazing when I saw the stuff live. That's what attracted me to his booth. So that zombie's actually really cool. It really does look like it's crawling off the screen, which is crazy because normally you need the 3D glasses, and that's what caught me. You know, drew me over to his booth when you could just see it. You know what I mean? It was actually pretty neat.
Well, we're definitely going to have to take the viewers over there, and so you'll be able to capture a little bit of. But the best way to see it, of course, is live and in person, along with all of these products that we have featured tonight. And it's just another testament. Like, there are amazing finds, amazing producers and products that are in every nook and cranny of this show floor, because Rich has worked his magic to make sure we're getting stuff from all angles to make sure that your attractions are the best they can ever be, and making sure your guests come back for years and years and years.
Yep, lots of cool new stuff to look at. So make sure you spend your time walking that floor several times. You know, meet all these guys. A lot of diamonds in the rough here.
Well, Rich, it's been awesome hosting with you, but as our last studio show before we get to St. Louis, anything you want to say to all of our viewers here before we see them in just a few days?
Excited to see everybody. It's always fun. My favorite day is, you know, when everything's the first day when people start moving in, that first truck that pulls in, and then, you know, exciting to see the first day of the floor on Thursday. Jen and I usually go in there early and you know, walk the floor. We're getting older now, so now we drive the golf cart, you know, and drive the whole floor's gotten too big, so
it's huge.
Walk it even with nobody out there. So, you know, we gotta ride the golf cart through and look at everything. That's always exciting. And then, you know, when those doors open and seeing that line is my favorite thing. So
oh my gosh, yes.
One other thing I wanted to say for vendors, look out for an email coming out tomorrow. It gives a better explanation on move in, you know, with some of the changes and stuff. Just a new thing that is available this year, because some of the one of the big parking lots that was across the street next to the Holiday Inn is no longer there. There's one behind that you could still park at, but it's a little bit further. We were the union was kind enough to allow us to allow 3 foot by 4 foot 4-wheel carts this year, which has never been allowed. So that's nice. Pick yourself up one from Home Depot or Lowe's and make sure you have it. You can even roll your stuff from your hotel or, you know, from further parking lots, because it does get crowded to unload. So that'll, if you come from a little bit further away, it's a little bit easier for you, but you are allowed to use those, and you can roll this stuff back and forth from your hotel or whatever. We will have blue coats, which is our staff members at every one of the roll-up doors if you have questions, and also trying to help move along people moving in. We would appreciate if everybody, the rules are you got to unload your stuff and get your vehicle moved so that, the other 500 exhibitors can get moved in. So just, make sure you take that into consideration when you're unloading your stuff, get it unloaded as quickly as possible, move your vehicle, then go in and build your booth. That's
Good
what we'll be
tips.
doing. We'll have people out there. If you are a drive-in vehicle that elected to use Heritage's drive-in service, which you have to, obviously it's a fee to drive in the building. If you looked over those sheets in their kit, make sure that you are there early as possible on Monday. I'm telling everyone to be no later than 8 a.m. I'm not going to tell you you're going to drive in at 8 a.m. It's going to depend on what hall you're in, how fast they're getting things set up, how fast other vendors move ahead of you. But just be there early so that the minute you are able to get in, you can get in, get your vehicle unloaded, and get back out of the building. There will be no drive-in later in the week. It's only Monday, and it's only early in the morning because the hall has to be set up with all the pipe and drape, and there will be no room for people to drive in later than that. So make sure if you're driving in on the floor, you're there as early as possible. I mean, there is the potential that you could get in before 8. I don't know that, but
Sure.
we're certainly gonna, the union will work the floor as fast as they can so they can get you in there. They got to mark the floor, mark the spaces, and then immediately we will have those drive-in vehicles pulling immediately. Okay.
No, that's great tips, and you're hearing it first here, everybody. For those that are just going to be attending and buying at the show, of course, and the exhibitors, remember those comfortable shoes, and of course, to hydrate. All the good tips that we've been talking about all the way on the road to TransWorld. A challenge from all of us. We'd love to see if your phone has a pedometer, how many steps you got in. We would love to talk about that after the show. We'd love to just know that for fun stuff. We did have a question. Are we going to be doing more shows? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We will be doing our normal Tuesday show, and then we'll probably be going live almost every hour starting Wednesday night. We'll be going from every event and then checking in from different parts of the floor throughout the entire 4 or 5 days there. So even if you're there, it's a good opportunity when you're resting your feet and laying in bed. You can catch up on all that coverage and maybe see something like, hey, I didn't get to that part of the show. I should go check that out. Use us as that extra reference tool to make sure that you cover all of these amazing places that Rich has set up.
Yeah,
now,
and be sure to stop by and see Chris and his team. Say hi, try to jump on some of the lives. Let people know how great the show is and how you enjoy it. Unfortunately, everyone can't make it to the show. We understand that. That's why we have some live coverage.
Amen, Rich. We do have one more thing we want to circle back to from the beginning. We were talking about that facade that is for sale. It's a one-of-a-kind facade, courtesy of Mark at Creative Visions, and we have that picture loaded. Thank you, Robert. As you can see it here, beautiful fiberglass piece and available for cash and carry. It's one of a kind. You can walk out with it. It would normally be priced, and as Rich and I talked about, probably a steal at $7,000, but you can walk out the door for $4,950. That's $4,950. Just got to make sure that you can load it up. It does measure into about a 12 by 12 foot space so that you can estimate your cargo and save a little bit of room in your transportation to take this puppy home.
Yeah, these are great for, even just a facade design, at the beginning of a haunt or, for a store or whatever. If you're interested in this, you can stop by Mark's booth at Creative Visions, or you can obviously stop in the show office, see Jen, see myself, see anybody on this.
Absolutely.
We can grab Mark for you. I think it's going to go pretty fast. So if you're
same, it's first come, first serve, right, Rich? I mean, like whoever buys it first gets it.
Yeah, being that it's this cheap, I think it's going to sell so quickly. I mean,
absolutely.
If you got the Mark prior to the show, knock your socks off. It's Creative Vision.
It's Creative Visions, exactly. We had people talking about that earlier about what a high quality product. It is a steal. It is a steal.
Mark's products are always very good. So when he kind of caters to the high end client. That's what he does. Everyone has different levels. He builds a lot of very high quality products. So when you see this, I think you're gonna love it. And I know that almost every year that we've had it, it's sold before the show even started. So, if you are interested, make sure you stop in even on Monday, whatever. It'll probably be set up by Tuesday or Wednesday usually. Mark has it by Tuesday usually. So,
well, and credit to our good friend Brian Mudgett. He has a ray of hope here. His cargo is in the state of Missouri. Now it's in Kansas City, but it's making its way to St. Louis. So
awesome.
Great. We can't wait to see you, Brian. Holy cow. Rich, another great show. Thank you so much. Great people. And we can't wait to see you in just a few days.
Always fun. See you guys. See some of you on Monday.
Absolutely. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We are there to support you. We want to make sure that all of your questions are answered. Of course, reach out to us, haashow.com. You know how to get a hold of Rich and Jen if you need them. And, of course, from Rich and I, a big thanks to all of you for hanging out with us, for watching all this, for asking the questions, the interactivity. We love you. We do this show for you, and we can't do it without you. So, and the biggest person we can't do it without, Robert. So thanks for making all that magic happen behind the scenes.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll see you in St. Louis, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Signing off.
We'll be giving you a special preview.
See you guys Tuesday.